Welcome to Crushing 1L, a podcast about Thanksgiving. I'm Abhi. I'm a 1L at Penn, and that's Aaminah. She's a 1L at UCLA Law. Aaminah, it's Thanksgiving. It is officially Thanksgiving. It's the time of food. It's the time of family. It's the time of giving thanks and being grateful and being happy. How many of those emotions are you feeling?
All of them. I feel all of
Awesome. That's
them.
awesome.
Yeah. And for various reasons, but all of them are present in different
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, this is a really great. I think it's awesome that Thanksgiving is kind of like the last big milestone before finals and stuff, because it is a time to kind of wrap everything up in a bow and spend some time with family, spend some time with friends, eat good food, and go, hey, this is all going to be okay. It's not that deep. There's bigger problems in the world. But one problem that we do not have, right? We are not hungry, Aaminah, I would say. And that's a blessing in and of
Yeah.
itself.
Well,
And so
yeah.
we're looking forward to Thanksgiving. I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving, but I'm like, dude, I've been eating too much. And that's because food is extremely plentiful in law school.
Yeah.
Um,
It's interesting, because I know we've talked about this before, in terms of like the lunches and all of that, but as the lunches die down, as the semester wraps up and firms are pulling back because we're now getting into finals and stuff. In law school, you can leave your like most expensive items everywhere. Like you can leave your laptops, your cell phone, whatever it is, like you can just leave it out anywhere. But you cannot, under any circumstances, leave food in the fridge.
dude,
Cannot do
food
that.
food is food is prey. Food is prey at the law school, and we are the predators. It's insane how anytime. Yeah, you're right. You could leave your really, really expensive piece of technology sitting on a table next to your coat for like an hour. You could just go
You could just walk
walk
away.
away and literally leave the building, and you can come back and it'll still be there. If you leave a slice of pizza out, it will get ate.
It's gone.
It's
It's
gone.
gone.
It's gone. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really tough. We were talking about this. We have group chats. Like we have a group me at
Yeah.
Penn that's like free food at Penn, and people will leave. Yeah, after like a firm event or after a club event, if there's extra food, which there usually is, they leave them on these like designated tables. We have a table by our goat sculpture, and you can look at the goat is like our mythical creature that's our mascot at Penn Law. There's like a table by the clock, and the clock is literally just a clock, and so we leave food by the goat or the clock, and you just put it in the thing. Or sometimes you don't even have to put a message in the thing. People are like roving the halls waiting for people to put food near these places. If you put your food anywhere near these open food places, it's gone.
Yeah. I mean, our group chat is called like Where's the Food? And we have it like the food just gets put in the kitchenette. Um, yeah, it gets ravaged in there. Like you put that thing in the group chat and it'll be gone
Yeah.
within minutes. But I mean, like even beyond that too, like sometimes people will put in we have fridges where we can put our lunch boxes or whatever. If you put food in the fridge, not in your own personal lunchbox, like if you write your name on the box of catering food that they brought, it's gone. You're almost asking for somebody to take it by designating it as yours. Like
Yeah.
it's gone. It's gone. And I'm sorry to those who have lost over the course of the year or the semester. I feel for you, but we know the game we're playing and that's what it is.
Yeah. It's the Hunger Games, but more literally, I think.
Yeah.
No, it's wild. I will also say the firm events kick like slowing down has not slowed down the flow of food because all the clubs are like stepping up.
Hmm.
Um, Truly, I have not brought a lunch to a single day of law school, and I have not gone hungry. Not a single day have I packed a lunch and and then also not gone hungry. That was a weird construction of that phrase,
Yeah.
but anyway, you guys know what I mean. Like it's ridiculous. There's always a boxed lunch or some sort of like random pizza or like sometimes it'll even be Chipotle just out.
Hmm.
It's incredible. I'm very well fed, probably to the detriment of my health.
Actually, Chipotle, why does Chipotle sound good? I don't even eat Chipotle, but
Dude, Chipotle is so good.
maybe that's lunch today. Yeah, I do pack lunch like but like it oftentimes like it has been like where I like bring a lunch on Monday and then I have to take it home on Friday because like I just got and like sometimes I'm running like late and I'm just like I just say before I leave like law school feed me today and then lunch appears with a cookie and like
Dude, sometimes the
yeah.
heaviest cookies. These there's heavy ass cookies at school, dude. They're like thick. They're thick cookies. It takes me multiple days to eat a cookie. Anyway, we're
Yeah,
we're
sorry.
hashtag blessed. We're
We're
hashtag
hungry.
blessed.
I'm actually currently hungry, I guess is the
I'm kind
problem.
of not hungry because I just had some heavy cookie,
Yeah.
but we're blessed. We're well fed, and this is the time of year where that is something that I like to just kind of think about and go, wow, like life is pretty good. Life is pretty good, so nothing to complain about. When you guys go to law school, or if you're in law school, um, we're taken care of. We're taken care of, and that's an amazing thing.
Yeah, I mean, at least in the food department.
At least in the food department.
At least in the food department.
Your brain is the part of your body that burns the most calories.
Wow.
So it's like we need it. We need the food.
I
Something.
feel that almost everyone does need food. So,
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah.
Speaking of brain power,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
segue, second topic. This is the Thanksgiving episode because it's probably coming out on the day of Thanksgiving, if not somewhere near there, if our editing schedule is affected by the holidays. And shout out to Amanda for getting this out to the people so they have something to listen to when you're avoiding your family on Thanksgiving.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely. We're here for you. Only for
but
half an hour though.
only for about half an hour to 45 minutes, depending on how the edit goes. Uh, but it is so because it's Thanksgiving. I think, Amina, you were telling me off camera, your classes are wrapping up. If they haven't already wrapped up, they're wrapping up this week, the week before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I mean, so we started a bit before you guys. So I think we're also naturally
Like
ending a
roughly a
bit before
week
you guys.
ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, this last week was my last full week of classes. Um, and then on Monday I just have one in-person class. My one of my professors is holding kind of like office hours instead of class, and then I have like my last contracts class. Yeah, my last contracts class, and then that's that. Like we are done with classes and on to finals.
That's wild.
It is wild.
We have a couple more. We have like roughly 4 or 5 to go. So we have 2 classes this coming week, and then we have a couple more classes the week after Thanksgiving. But once that's done, it's done. And then yeah, into reading week. Um,
Yeah.
and if people aren't familiar with that, you have roughly a week to a week and a half between when classes end and when your first exam is when you're a 1L. So that's your time to if you haven't already, really lock into studying, really make sure that your notes and your outlines are good to go. Maybe take a couple of practice exams. Now that you're actually complete with class, there's no more content. And so
Yeah.
now you can sit down for a practice exam and not worry about, oh, have I not covered this? And yeah, it's a solid week or two of work. Well, week and some change of work,
Hmm.
but looking forward to it. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm really like really very grateful for reading period because I feel like I just like need that time to like sit with just one class rather than like this constant cycle of classes that we've been going through all semester. So it's like, okay, like now, I mean, I I'm actually very, I think, fortunate in terms of like how my exams are scheduled because like I have like quite a bit of like time between each class. So it's like I almost have like mini reading periods between each final that I have. So really happy about that and like really happy to take advantage of that time to just learn these learn
Yeah.
what I learned.
Yeah, because it's harder than it seems to balance 3 or 4 things, and so it's hard now to have a day where you're like, today's going to be all about torts, because it can't be. Your day can't be just about torts because you have
Yeah.
two other classes to read for and all this other stuff to do. But I think I have the same plan for reading week. My first exam is I think on the 8th, and so between when classes end and the 8th, that's my like Civ Pro reading week. And then
Yeah.
between Civ Pro and contracts, that's my contracts reading week. And between
Yeah.
contracts and torts, that's my torts reading week. So I
Yes.
do think they maybe build the schedule that way on purpose, which is nice.
Well, shout out to them. I think from the most part, yes, although like I was telling you like one of the sections, well, two of the sections because we have the super section, but two of the sections um had part of their final literally on Friday, which honestly, I don't understand why the school would allow that. Like why would they considering the intensity of writing the memo which we're in right now, like our memos due on Tuesday, considering the intensity of that, like the reputable intensity of that, why would you allow somebody to throw a final 4 days before that assignment is due? Meaning, I just, it's beyond me because it's like you have to study for that part of the final while you're also trying to write the memo. It just seems unnecessary. It seems
It
unnecessary.
seems a bit unnecessary for sure. I can only imagine, like, if I was the professor and I was doing this, I think my reasoning would be this way you don't have to stress as much about the final because you've already gotten part of it out of the way. But that stress doesn't go away. It's just displacing the stress to earlier.
Yeah, it's like you still have to worry about the final because the final is still happening. Like you
It
still have
is
the other
still the
part of the
final.
final to do.
Yeah. That's
It,
wild. So what did the part of the final they already had? What did that entail?
I mean, it wasn't my section, so I
Yeah.
can't say all the way, but I think they had a multiple, like it was multiple choice
Okay.
that they had to do. Um, yeah, I mean, but you still, it's like you still have to prep for the,
You still have to study. Yeah,
you
you
still
still
have
have
to
to study.
study while you're
Yeah.
trying to write this monstrous memo, and our
That's
memo
tough.
is
That's tough.
monstrous.
Yeah, all of my classes do have multiple choice parts to the exam, but again, these are like 3, 4, 5 hour exams. So the multiple choice part is probably only an hour, and then the essay
Yeah.
portion is the other 3 or 4 hours. So I think maybe if you get the multiple choice out of the way, that's one less hour you have to do on the day of. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just trying to rationalize, but I kind of agree. I think it would be better to just have the final all on the one day. But
Yeah,
who am
I
I?
just
I'm not the
uh
mayor. I'm not the mayor of Hollywood or whoever your
West
professor is.
Hollywood,
Yeah.
West Hollywood, but yeah, it wasn't our professor. He wouldn't do something like that.
All right,
He would do other
Chaperone.
things, but not like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Chaperone reference. West
Yeah, I don't.
Hollywood.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Pink
yeah.
Pony. Pink Pony Club.
Correct.
Anyway. Cool. Yeah. So we hit our second topic. I think that's pretty much all we had to say. We're heading into reading week slash wrapping up classes, and we're gonna be in final exam mode. So I'm
And I
excited
think
for it.
we've talked about what we plan to do to study. I think we've
Hmm.
gone over that. So check
I
out
think
our.
so
I think that
too.
was last
Yeah.
episode that we went over that. So if you're curious, check out last episode, and then we'll have more on what it was actually like once it's over. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And it just comes down to like you just have to like consolidate your notes and outline and just get ready for exams. It is what it is.
just practice.
Just
Yep.
practice exams, stuff like that. Cool.
Yeah.
Um, this is a more fun part of the show. We have some listener questions. Well, like listener comments, I think, and requests. So, Amina, do you want to? I think you should read this first one.
I can't actually legally. I actually can't read it with, I can't get through a sentence like
That's
that,
so
but
fair.
by all
That's so fair.
means,
That's so
please.
fair. Comment from Joshua Solorzano. Look, folks, I didn't write this comment. I didn't pay Joshua to write this comment. It's a comment from a listener. You can find it on Spotify. It's there. I didn't have anything to do with it. Joshua's comment. Abhi has aura. Hard to argue with. Hard to argue with.
Hmm.
So Abhi has aura. Also, comment on a legal drama every week and keep rage baiting. Josh, I got you, bro. I got you. Not only do I hope to keep showing up with aura, but I do have a legal drama prepared for this week, and I can't help but rage bait Amina. That's my job. So
Yeah, I guess it's more of a thing for me to keep allowing it, which I may not.
that's
I
true.
may
That's
not.
very
I
fair.
just may stop taking the bait, but I don't know. Like, I feel like it's part of, maybe it's part of our gimmick here. I don't know.
Hey, every show has a draw, and so far the draws are my aura, my legal drama comments, and my rage baiting. So, and your hate of AI.
Yeah, more on that.
More on
More
that
on
later.
that after finals.
Yeah,
More on
yeah,
that after finals. We're
yeah, folks.
gonna,
We have heard your requests. We're gonna prepare an AI debate.
we will.
It's just not gonna be right now.
It cannot be now.
There's another listener, Amina, that wanted more like drama reviews. Anthony Johnson commented, "I want the Abhi drama show." Thanks, Anthony. It could also be the Amina drama show. Like, I think we should, like, maybe when we have more downtime, maybe we
Yeah.
can jump more into dramas. Although I make time for my TV. I make time for my gym, my books, my TV. So maybe I should study more, but I don't know. So I have one prepared. I have one prepared, folks. But you have to keep listening. Um, Amina, do you want to take the next one?
Yeah, so we heard back from David, the epic pro of Minecraft, which hello again, David. And he says, y'all, thanks for getting my comment. It's wild to hear the nickname I put on my account over a decade ago showing up. We read everything verbatim, so be careful what you put out there.
I
No,
also
but
relate. I also relate to that, right? Like all of our
yeah.
usernames are from when we were like 13, and so I do get it.
Yeah. And then he said, it's really comforting to see smiles on this video while I'm preparing for part-time law school with a kid. You're showing me that law school is possible, and that's a lot.
That's
I'm
awesome.
glad that you feel that way. And we have like demons who are in law school with kids. So if you want to
We do.
hear from them, we can get them on
We should have a
here.
parent on for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
I have classmates, David. Like, you're not going to be alone. I have plenty of classmates that are doing law school with a spouse and kids. It's definitely like that's hard. Like, that's harder than doing it without a spouse and kids. But it's not impossible. If you already have a kid, you already know that you had more time in your day than you thought, or you had even less time in your day than you thought. Whichever way you cut on that, so
Yeah.
you're gonna be fine. You're gonna crush it. You're gonna keep being a great dad and be a great student. And I see people do it every day.
Yeah. I also have parents in my law school class, obviously. And I feel like they really are kind of like the most together of us all. Like, because again, like obviously, like it teaches you about balancing and priorities and all that, like in a
Yeah,
way that we as non-parents are not getting. So I think it's like, yeah, you'll do great. It'll be great.
100%. Thanks to everybody who wrote in or left a comment on YouTube or Spotify. We love it, folks. We love it. Please keep leaving us comments. We read every single one, and it's an opportunity to rage bait Amina, so you can join me in the process. It's awesome. It's
Yeah, or if
interactive.
you want to like, hate on Abby, like I'm down for that too.
Sure.
I know Abby has many fans, so
I
I'm
have
not gonna
so
hold my
many
breath on
fans.
that one,
I
but
have dozens of fans. Amina, I have dozens of
if
fans.
anybody out there wants to take a swing, by all means.
Absolutely. There's plenty to swing at, so give me your best shot. That's it for listener questions. Thanks everybody who wrote in. Amina, do you want to tell us about the current events happening in the world of law?
Sure. So we have two articles this week we're going to get into. The first one is an article from Above the Law. It is called Law Students Can Sometimes Buy Good Grades. It's by Jordan Rothman, published on November 21st. Um, So this article was interesting to me because it exposed something I did not know, which apparently is that some law schools offer summer classes. It seems to me, the idea here is that you can take summer classes or do study abroad programs, and that these classes may not be graded in the same way or graded as stringently, and therefore can boost your law school GPA. Um, yeah, as I said before, I didn't even know that law schools offer summer classes because I'm thinking that during the summer we're supposed to be working. So I
Yeah,
don't
we're
know.
working,
Yeah.
interning, volunteering at a non, like you're supposed to be doing law stuff and trying to figure out if you want to be a lawyer. I don't know if summer classes are the first priority for many people. Um, I also didn't even know that law schools offered summer classes. Also, so yeah, I don't think ours
Yeah.
do. I think we did
Yeah,
research,
yeah,
aka we just looked at our
yeah. For five
websites.
seconds we looked it
Yeah,
up. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see anything on UCLA Law in terms of like legal summer classes. Like I think theoretically you can take like a class with the undergraduate university. Um,
Yeah,
but
like
I
you're a
don't know.
student, like you're a grad student at your university, so you can do whatever you want. But
Yeah.
I don't think that includes taking like substantive legal classes.
Yeah. So I don't know that we offer summer classes. We do have study abroad programs, which is more like in year 2L and 3L year, but I mean they are there. Like the UCLA offers one to DC where you can like do judicial externships in DC.
I mean, I don't think DC counts as studying abroad, but
I mean, listen, it's just a thing you can do. We also have stuff like internationally, but like the one that comes to mind first is UCDC.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair. That's fair.
Um, I
Um,
mean, yeah.
well, and Demon teammate and longtime teacher and tutor and Penn Law 3L, Francesca, she's in Paris this semester. So people do study abroad all the time. Eh, but I don't know if they're doing it for the grades. I think they're doing like I think Francesca's in Paris because she wants to be in Paris and she wants to like learn about French law and stuff, right? Like, I don't know
Yeah.
if she's being strategic about the grading. She's also 3L, so too little, too
Yeah.
late.
Yeah, and I think it's just like I mean, in terms of our study abroad programs, like I think I remember briefly talking to like our dean of students about it. And it's like it's not like you can just like it's not like an undergrad where it's like, "Oh, I want to go." I mean, Abby, I don't know how it works for you guys, but like it's not like, "Oh, I want to go to XYZ place, so I'm going to do the study abroad program in that place." Like there's a little bit more like of a you have to have like more of a reason in terms of like what are you planning to do with the law that would justify you having to go to this or that country.
Yeah, and these programs are structured. Like we have relationships with these international universities, like to your point of view, like to study something in particular. So you have
Yeah.
to demonstrate an interest in that particular topic, and then you go study it. It's not usually just that you want to take a vacation. That's not
Yeah.
that's not the point.
It's not like you just get to like, "Oh, I'm gonna go do law school at in this country now rather than doing it here at my school." Like, no.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I think also the grade aspect is interesting. Again, it's for me, it's the too little, too late. I think your grades really matter. Your 1L year, and then probably part of your 2L year, because that's when you're applying this stuff.
Mm,
And that like you, there's no way around those grades.
yeah.
So those are the ones that matter. I think 3L grades. I mean, they still matter if you're trying to like do fancy things that need like fancy grades all 3 years. They of course still matter, but I think there's plenty of ways to get good grades on campus as a 3L. You don't have to pay to play, so to speak. Um, Strange. And also, our schools don't offer summer classes, so the pay to play there is hard to do anyway.
Yeah.
But if your law school offers summer classes, hey, something to consider.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so that was the first article I saw and I was like, kind of interesting concept. I don't know how effective it will actually be in terms of like making you competitive with other students, but yeah, something to look into if that's like available at the law school you're going to. And then the second one I saw was this one called Two Former Big Law M&A Attorneys Launch Ruby, a virtual apprenticeship. And this is a long title. A virtual apprenticeship in transactional law, and Texas law is offering the platform to the entire law school. Um, so this one doesn't actually have
Interesting.
an author. It's provided by Ruby Legal Training. And this was on November 19th. Um, but yeah, so essentially, I guess it's like it seems to me almost like a what's the word I'm looking for? A simulator, where it's like you're kind of like working in the law firm of these two, like the people who created this platform, and like they're instructing you on how to do transactional work by like literally taking you step by step through how to do your job as a junior associate in their law firm or in their office. So I think it's like an interesting idea, and as we have these AI conversations and like tech advancement conversations and how they're impacting the legal field, like something where it's like it seems to me almost like a supplement where like you still need on the job training, like you still have to obviously, I mean, obviously go be an associate and like in these offices to get this experience. It's like a supplement to that to like kind of help guide you through it and like yeah, take you further where than you might get if you're just like being instructed face to face. That seems to me like kind of like the goal with this. And then yeah, interestingly, like I think it said the University of Texas Law School is offering it to their students. Um, I'm interested to see what that rollout is like.
Yeah, this just sounds like ed tech, right? This sounds like this company partnered with a major law school, like a major university. Like their customer is not me and you. Their customer
Yeah.
is UT Austin like School of Law, which is the flagship, law school in the state of Texas. So that's thousands and thousands of students. But this seems like an educational technology startup that they won a big contract with a big school. So we'll keep an eye on it, and we have Stefan at UT on the front line, so he can update us as well on how it goes. But I think it's a good idea. Like I think supplementing the real world education that law schools are trying to introduce more of, because I think one big criticism of law school over the years has been nothing you learn in law school is what you do like in real life. And I think law schools are hearing that criticism. I mean, it's taken them 20 or 30 years to action on it, but they've heard the criticism over the decades and they said, okay, well, like for instance, our LPS program at Penn is very realistic.
Yeah.
They've invested a lot of time and resources into making it seem like we are working on a matter at a firm, and like our TAs like act as our supervisors, and we have like these meetings, and we like there's all these steps and time and stuff, resources baked into making it seem real, and that's helpful, and that makes it seem
Yeah.
more real. And I think this is just another way of like making the work that you're doing in law school seem more real, and make the learning seem more real. So good.
Yeah. And sorry, go
No,
ahead.
no, no. So good. I mean, good. I think
Yeah, I think, and like exactly what you're saying is like, I mean, in terms of like what they were saying about how they envision it being implemented, they're saying like it's as if like like we as in the founders are sitting at their desks teaching not just substantive concepts and what to do, but why they're doing it, what questions to ask, and how everything fits into the bigger picture. Using a full purchase agreement and transaction documents to build judgment and context. So it's like again, it's like not just these theoretical things, but like really kind of grounding it in like there's a reason why you're learning all this stuff. Like here's how things work in practice, which I think is incredibly helpful. Like as much as I have gripes with our legal reading program and like it not being pass fail, I've said my piece on that. But
imagine, folks, imagine having a graded memo. I don't know. I can't even
yeah, I
imagine.
mean most of you won't have to imagine it because I don't think that's very common to have an ungraded memo.
Come to
But
Penn Law, folks. Come to Penn Law. It's
um
tough.
yeah, I echo what you're saying in terms of like there being a system of like, no, this is not. And I think that's something I had to process it with my like writing my memos of like, oh, I'm not writing an academic paper to my professor. Like I'm advising
A
a
client.
partner, an associate, whoever
Hmm.
on a legal matter. So there's like it's not just like, oh, let me write this paper and like that's that. Like, no, this is like a professional document, which honestly actually has made it easier to write. But yeah. All that to say, like these are things that like help make what you're doing feel more realistic and more significant. Yeah.
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 And Aaminah, in a damning criticism of academic writing, has said that I don't want to put words in your mouth. No, I think what's really cool about writing assignments like that is that it makes you realize the papers we wrote in undergrad, or like the papers we read in college, are not for human consumption. Like,
Um,
in my opinion, this is my criticism. I'm not going to put it in your mouth. Those papers are not for human consumption. Like, the stuff that we produce as academics is so like ivory tower convoluted, rosy language, weird sentence construction, and so specific in its content that like you would have to be the professor of the course to even understand what this piece of writing says. Versus we're trying to pivot in law school to, hey, what if you wrote this memo to somebody who has no idea what the fuck's going on? Can
yeah,
you explain what the problem is, what the answer is, and why? Briefly, concisely, and clearly. That's hard. It's hard to do all those things well, but it's also easier because it's plainer writing, and you don't have to sit there and like formulate these philosophical constructions in your head, because it's not academic. So interesting
yeah. That's like what I was getting at. It's like academic writing, it's like you're doing it for a grade, not for like
for communication purposes.
yeah, for
Yeah,
communication.
that's what it's like. It's not for human consumption. It's like a plastic banana, right? It's like a plastic apple. It's for display. You put it in
Yeah.
the bowl in the lobby, and then you can't. But you shouldn't eat it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's yeah, that's that on that. I don't know. I kind of
I don't
lost
know.
the way to close out that topic, but yes, that's our take
Why
on
not end
kind
on
of
my wonderful metaphor of
yeah, plastic bananas.
plastic bananas and
Sure.
apples? Yeah, exactly.
We're doing real
Um,
apples and oranges now.
we're doing real apples and oranges now. I mean, and
Hmm.
speaking of apples and oranges, the Lawau this week, I picked it. Let's see if people can tell that it's one of mine. The legal word of the week this week is sea sponge.
Hmm.
Now, Mina, why do you think I picked sea sponge? Also, it's technically two words, so legal words
Well,
of the week.
so I guess this is the part where I have to guess, see if I can figure out what the legal context is.
Yes.
I mean,
So sea sponge is notably it's an animal that lives in the
yeah.
sea.
So here's the thing, right? I hear sea sponge. My first instinct is like, what is this legal term? Because I mean, Abby's
Yeah.
given it to me as a little while, so there
Yeah, yeah.
theoretically is some legal basis, but like I'm racking my brain and I can't figure out where in the world sea sponge would fit into the law. The closest I can get is that it sounds like a word we did a couple weeks ago, which is sua sponte, but It's not to Esponte, so I'm just at a loss right now.
I mean, you nailed it. It secretly is sua sponte because there's a
Mm,
tweet, and I've linked it here in the document. But it's a tweet by Rob Freund, and he writes about law and stuff on Twitter. His at is Robert Freund Law. That's Freund. Robert Freund Law. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Sorry, Robert. Sorry, Rob. But his tweet, he like reports on the law, and his tweet's title is "Sua Sponte, Sea Sponge, same thing." And he quotes a legal article about about an attorney in San Francisco's First District Court of Appeals. Dudley, his name is Dudley. The lawyer's name is Dudley. Sad. That's another L for Dudley, I think, is having the name Dudley. All love to
I have
you.
an uncle named Dudley.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy. He just walks around going by Dudley?
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know. Oh, sorry. He's not my uncle. He's like my great uncle. He's my mom's uncle.
Yeah, but Uncle Dudley.
Yeah, Uncle Dudley.
Well, anyway, uh, so, so
Right.
Amina's Uncle Dudley, who's an attorney in San Francisco's First District of Court of Appeals, was working on a brief to submit to the district court, and Uncle Dudley did something very reasonable. He used search and replace. He used like find and replace, right? Control F, and you find and replace a term. Um, but the find and replace replaced all of his usage of sua sponte with sea sponge, which I think is just an autocorrect that got then filtered through the whole document. So at some point he was writing sua sponte, it got autocorrected to sea sponge, and then it got distributed throughout the document. So every use of sua sponte got replaced with sea sponge, and Dudley is he didn't notice the error before he filed the brief, and so the court was like, what does this mean? And he has to explain, I'm sorry, spell check. Technically, spell check is not going to flag sea sponge because sea sponge is a real word. And so here are the limitations of spell check and AI. Sad.
Yeah, there you
Um,
go.
and I'll quote the
This is what I
article.
was warning about the whole
This is
time.
exactly what we're talking about with AI. I will read the rest of this that Rob quoted here. That left the justices reading and probably laughing at such classic statements as, an appropriate instruction limiting the judge's criminal liability in such a prosecution must be given C-Sponge, explaining that certain acts or omissions by themselves are not sufficient to support a conviction. And it is well settled that a trial court must instruct C-Sponge on any defense, including a mistake of fact defense. And that sneaky C-Sponge popped up in his brief at least 5 more times. That's tough.
Sad.
That's tough.
Keep your eyes open, people. AI cannot do it all, cannot
AI
replace your
cannot do it
brain.
all.
And that's why we're not
Can
going to be out of jobs because there's always going to be that stray stay sponge where there should be a sua sponte. A person will catch it, AI will not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Unless you're Dudley and you don't catch it.
Well, and what's crazy is like because sua sponte is already like a weird phrase, and it means a specific thing, and it's in Latin, and so like your brain's already kind of doing all these filters of translation. When you read sua sponte, you're like, oh, like the court like spontaneously or the court by itself. And so there's a
Mm,
world where he did probably read his brief to proofread it before he filed it, but there's a world where like his brain was just like, yeah, and the court must sea sponge instruct the jury, and it's like, oh yeah, like the court must by itself instruct the jury. Like,
yeah, yeah,
you see
yeah.
what I mean? Like
He just replaced it in his mind, and
he
that was
autocorrected
that.
it in his
Oh,
head.
I definitely like reading foreign languages. I've definitely done that where I just like add in what it's supposed to be, and like that's that.
Exactly, right? And I think it's like when your brain is already doing several layers of filtering, what's another automatic layer of filtering? As far as legal errors go, this one relatively harmless. I mean, I don't know if you've heard of
Yeah.
like all of these people getting in a lot of trouble for making up citations,
Um,
hallucinating citations.
is it people who are hallucinating these cases? I feel like there's another responsible party.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Gosh, I something like, oh, is it AI that's hallucinating cases? I
Yes,
think it's AI.
it is.
Yeah.
It is. Of course, AI will hallucinate cases, but again, it's up to us as the humans in this game to check the stuff that we file. And if AI has hallucinated your case citations, you have to check your case citations to make sure they're not hallucinated.
Yeah, you do, because as I said, you cannot rely on AI for everything, and we will not be put out of jobs yet by AI.
That's very real. And it's been all sorts of like Amina, like judges have been getting caught, right? Because they're clerks. Because
Yeah.
obviously judges don't actually write all of their own opinions, and so which that's a whole other can of worms that we can get into. But those are usually drafted by clerks and interns, and if the clerk or intern uses AI and hallucinates a case, and then the judge is like, they're more concerned with like, is this my voice? Like, is this what I would say and how I would say it? I don't think the judge is checking the case citations, but maybe they should be. Maybe they should be. I don't know, but that seems crazy for a federal judge to check citations.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the trouble we'll run into, like, as we're, like, still in this territory where we're, like, not necessarily incredibly familiar with AI and, like, super learned on how to use it. We're in the infancy stage of, um, these technologies and, like, how they'll be implemented in practice. So, yeah, as we're learning how to do it more effectively, and learning where the gaps are in the technology, like, we have to be careful.
Yeah, yeah. I think utmost care, or a duty of reasonable care, perhaps, is in order here. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for saying that. Law school is
That's a
rotting my
torts
brain.
thing. That's a
That is
torts
a
thing.
that is a torch phrase, and my brain is rotting from law school.
Oh my god, wait. I actually have, like, randomly I
Yeah,
don't know if
yeah.
we wanna hear this, but, like, randomly, so my professor, my contracts professor, guys, we're segueing out of a while, we're going into,
Segue
like,
out of Laval.
bonus segment,
Bonus
contracts in
segment.
real life. So, my professor, he has this thing every week he posts, a discussion forum on Canvas where we can do contracts in real life, and if we put in a contract, he gives us swag. So, like, I don't know if I showed you guys my UCC hat. Did I show you that I have a UCC hat? Did you know that?
You have a uniform commercial code hat? That's
I
so
do.
sick,
He custom
actually.
makes UCC hats. I
God,
have
UCLA. Okay, so UCLA may have graded memos, but they have West Hollywood mayors and swag merchants as their professors
yeah.
as well. So
Professor, wait, what
there's
happened to
pros and
my
cons.
I think I showed Avi like my everything is a chicken pencil, which has disappeared, but that's like in reference to the oh wait, here it is.
Dude, Frigalament.
Yeah.
Everything is
Frigalamont.
chicken.
Everything is a chicken.
Everything is a chicken.
Our
Everything is
contracts
computer.
professor. Yeah, but I'm getting off base. So our contracts professor does this thing, contracts in real life. And like all semester I've never had anything to like put in contracts in real life because I was doing other things. But yesterday I was listening to another podcast, Normal Gossip. Shout out Normal Gossip. Like I recently was like, I need to listen to things that are not law school.
If
So I
you
was
if you
listening
want to
to
have
Normal
us
Gossip.
if you want to have us on, we'll come on.
Oh my god. If you want to have me on Normal Gossip, say less, I'll drop out of law school. But anyway. Um, the point is, and I'm gonna get there, I promise. This on the episode of Normal Gossip I was listening to, um, the person in the gossip story, like, she really loved this couch that this guy had, and she asked him, like, "Hey, can I like, what are you gonna do with this couch? Like, can I have it?" And he was like, "You can have the couch." Bam, oral contract. Cut to the end of the semester, um, she's like, "Oh, like, so, like, when can I come pick up the couch?" And he goes, "I'm so sorry, but I actually said that my roommate could keep the couch. I totally forgot that I told you that you could have it." And he's like, "Sorry about it." And oh my god, I had a contracts in real life moment because I was like, "Wait a minute. You had an oral agreement for this couch."
Offer, acceptance,
Like
assent.
I know, like, you had an oral agreement for this couch, like, is this an enforceable contract? So I was like, okay, well, she didn't give him anything in terms of consideration, like, which, guys, if you have an oral agreement, just give that person $1, bam, that's consideration, you're done, like, it's bring it to the courts.
Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not
Give
legal
him a
advice. That's not legal advice.
that's not legal advice, but if it were, then it is. But, no, but I was like, okay, so no consideration, but, like, statute of frauds, maybe? Statute of frauds, like
Well, or the consideration could be that she was removing the couch from his house, like, right? Because like sometimes people give stuff away because they don't want to pay somebody to have to come get the thing.
No, it was more like he gave it to her. I mean, she said like he gave it to her because she would sit on the couch every day, every time that they would have a party. And so like he was like, "Oh, I see you love this couch, like you can have the couch."
Oh,
Yeah. So it was more like kind of a
okay.
gift thing in terms of like their
That does
agreement.
sound like a gift.
Yeah. But statute of frauds in terms of like the contract could theoretically be completed in a year. So like maybe there's like a world where they don't need a writing to like
Yeah, I don't
confirm.
think you need a writing for something like that. But
Yeah.
to me, it sounds like a conditional gift.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like there's definitely some more analysis needed on like if that was actually a contract that could be enforced under the statute of frauds, but like it's not outright a no. It's not outright a no.
It's not
And I
outright
was
a no.
like,
It would need more analysis. That's very cool.
oh God, like, oh my God,
Yeah.
it's happening.
The real contract heads out there want us to do. I mean, do a brief analysis on that contracts problem.
Once I finish my contracts outline, I'll have all the answers for you.
Well, okay. So here's my stat. Can I take a stab at it?
Absolutely.
It's like 3 second contracts. Okay.
Hmm.
Offer was him saying you can have the couch. Acceptance was her going, awesome, thank you. I'd love to have the couch. The question here is, what is the bargain for exchange? Is it an exchange? Are they exchanging anything? Is there consideration?
That's
Or is this
right.
somebody giving this to somebody else? And in which case, courts do not enforce gifts,
Yeah.
but courts will enforce bargains for exchange. So that's the analysis one would have to do. You'd have to go into, it'd probably take a few sentences to go, okay, well, what is this person getting out of this versus what is this other person giving up or getting out of this? And that would be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, like you said, if there was something where it's like, oh, can I like you can have this couch if you're willing to take it out of my apartment because I don't want to deal with it.
Boom,
Much different than
boom,
just like,
consideration.
oh, like you love the couch, like yeah, you can have it.
Yes.
It's really just like it really depends on like why he was giving her the couch and
Hmm.
like what he was getting out of giving her the couch.
Yeah, it's all about induce. Were you doing something to induce somebody else to do something? So was he giving her the couch? I don't know. Like maybe he wanted to be her friend, and like, hey, if I give you this couch, will you like hang out with me? Or if I give you this couch, will that give me joy? The problem
Right.
is the other person also has to be exchanging something, and so that's where it gets tricky because conditional gifts can get tricky, right? Donations to universities, right? So if one day Amina is a fancy entertainment and sports law attorney and she wants to donate money to her alma mater, UCLA Law School, um, and she says, "Here, law school, you can have $20 million if you build a library with it."
Hmm.
Is the law school giving up anything? I don't think so. That sounds like a conditional gift. Even though there's a condition attached to it, it's still probably only a conditional gift.
Yeah. So, I don't know, something that like was interesting for me, like I'm like, "Oh, my mind is starting to change because I heard that and like immediately was like, where's the contract in this? Like, is there one?" And I'm like trying to find the episode. Oh, okay. It's from April 9th. It's called The Couch and the F Boy with I guess I could well, I won't
Oh,
say it. Couch and the
So he is an F boy.
No, but it wasn't him, it was his roommate.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
there's some F boy stuff going on. It seems like there's an undertone, I think, of this story where there's stuff we don't know, but that's okay.
Oh yeah, well, there's so much stuff you don't know because
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
gave the literal briefest explanation of it. But the Couch and the F Boy on Normal Gossip, take a listen.
Normal gossip. If you want to have Amina and I on, happy to oblige.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's my legal drama for this week. Oh wait, we forgot
Oh, we didn't do the
yours.
legal drama, dude. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
God.
Okay, well, so okay. Speaking of legal drama, I did my due diligence this week. I watched several episodes of The Good Wife. Um, The Good Wife, critically acclaimed show. Like, so I pivoted really hard from All's Fair. All love to Kim K. Again, we support her. We love her. Also, she seems to be really close to passing the bar. So I think she's going to pass on her next try if she just legs it out and does one more. God bless her. Hope for the best. There, All's Fair though. Trash television and should be destroyed and never shown to a human being. Not fit for human consumption. On the other hand,
Does that make it
yeah,
academic?
I think it's a little academic in that way. Yeah. Um, on the other hand, The Good Wife. Oh, incredible television. This is like the golden era of network television. This is a CBS drama that ran from like '09 to 2016. It is a little like on the nose Obama era, like liberal girl boss, like all of the vibes that we had when things were better.
Mm,
But it's very like on the nose about it. That's fine. It's very much of its time. The acting is better, the writing is better. It is an actual legal drama with cases that you can actually follow that begin and end
mm.
within the episode. So it's kind of got that like monster of the week vibe to it. Um, it's a really good network drama, folks. It's streaming. I think it's for free. I don't know. I found one of the apps on my Roku TV just had it for free, so I watched a bunch of episodes of The Good Wife. I believe one of the reviews called it the last great TV drama, like the last great
Oh,
network TV drama, because it was coming out in the late 2010s where network TV had actually been mostly destroyed by streaming. And so
yeah.
it's one of the last, it's like along with like The Wire and like
Mm,
along with like those kinds of TV shows like The Sopranos, The Wire, and then The Good Wife, I think is mentioned in the same breath as those shows. It happens to be a legal drama. So that's my 10 out of 10 recommendation. If All's Fair was a 0 out of 10, it's probably a negative 1 out of 10. Although All's Fair is
it's
so
so
bad that you
bad. I want to
it
give it a 0, but I
it's
can't, so
it's
I'm giving it
so
a 1.
yeah, it's so bad that you should watch it actually. It horseshoes back into being a 10, I think.
Mm,
Uh, but The Good Wife is actually so good that you should just watch it. It's about a woman who is a mother and a wife, but her husband goes to prison for some sort of like professional scandal. But he was like the state's attorney for the city of Chicago, and so he was a big deal. He was a politician and an attorney. She was also an attorney, but she had put her career on the side to be a wife and a mother. And so he goes to prison and she steps up and she says, okay, well, if you're going to be in prison and somebody's got to pay the bills. She goes back to being a big law associate. And so it's actually really good. It's like cool to see a big law associate. And is it super accurate? Probably not. Does it get some of the accuracy right? Like I think the hours and the intensity of the work. I think so. So folks, if you're daydreaming about being a big law associate, check out The Good Wife. It's also just good TV. It's just like good. It's like that classic. It's like that 2010 network. You know, it's got like
yeah.
the feel good. You know, vibe. It's just good
Yeah.
TV. It's just good TV.
Yeah, it reminds your iteration of this show reminds me of my brief stint of obsession with Scandal at the beginning of the semester.
Maybe next
Yeah,
week you can talk about Scandal. Maybe that'll be your rec.
perhaps, perhaps. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Cool.
I've stopped watching it because it very quickly got like off the rails for me, but like, yeah,
As
I can
as
talk about
legal
Scandal.
as legal dramas often do, they often start on the rails and then they very quickly jump the tracks.
Yeah.
But c'est la vie.
Yeah. But yeah, okay, that's our legal drama segment. I guess that's a new segment of ours, legal drama. Um, Hope you enjoyed. More on that next week, potentially.
Yeah.
And that's it. I mean, do we have anything else? Oh,
I
I
don't.
guess I
Yeah.
think the last thing I was saying is as I'm studying for finals, like one of my perhaps low-key study methods, I may honestly be using the crushing one content to just like give me a refresher on some stuff. Like, I'm obviously going to be using the notes and readings and stuff that we did in class, but like, I'm telling y'all, some of this stuff is not in English. Like, it's just not in English, and Crushing 1L is. And as a native English speaker, that's really useful for me. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we had a lot of really smart people, like really accomplished attorneys, put a lot of time into consolidating some pretty tough concepts into a question or two. So for instance, we teach Erie in one question. And I think the Erie question in a lot of Civ Pro classes spans multiple classes.
Yeah.
Um, and we have tried our best to kind of go, here's the simplest way to think about Erie. And that way of framing Erie makes Erie easier to understand, even with all the nuance that your Civ Pro course will probably bring in.
Yeah.
And so it's stuff like that. I do think hitting a couple of questions on Crushing 1L for stuff that's just not quite sticking. I've been doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way that we consolidate jurisdiction, the way that we consolidate even just like duty and breach in the torts unit, I just really liked it. So it's something to consider
Yeah. But yeah, I will be considering it as I move into finals. And other than that, I think we're done here.
for your consideration. Contracts joke. Contracts joke. I think we're done here. We ran a little long. Apologies, folks. But hey, if you're avoiding your family on Thanksgiving, this is your break. You got to hang out with your two best buds here at lsatdemon and the Crushing 1L team. But that's it for this episode of Crushing 1L. If you enjoyed the episode, please don't forget to subscribe. You can also leave a review, or even better, share it with somebody in your life who might be thinking about law school. Don't go to law school. Uh,
Save them.
Save them from this fate if you love them, if you truly love them. But if you have a question, you can always write into the pod. It's crushing1l.com. But I think what's been easier, Amina, is people just leaving comments on Spotify and YouTube. So
Leave
do
a
that.
comment. We'll read it.
Just comment and we'll read it. Thanks for listening, guys. I'm Abhi, that's Aaminah. And until we see you after the holidays, have a great Thanksgiving and keep crushing it.